Alright, and we are doing the second stream for today even, so for once we almost followed the schedule. This is kind of unusual that we actually follow the schedule more or less. It's like constantly apparently a couple of hours late, but that's much better than the lately more or less guess your schedule, which occurs once a week this far after the convention season. But now we are doing more in a very big way because it's already the second stream today, which hasn't happened for quite a while, though we are a bit late. So it's great to be here again, and we are doing Sunless Sea. So let's see about what happens this time. Last time we at least didn't get sunk, so it started quite well and hopefully continues. So in this game it tends to be that at least the first few captains get sunk quite easily, and then it's like not necessarily very successful. So this far it has been surprisingly so, but we haven't gone very far yet either, for example danger wise either. So, and for the farther away places in any case would need a bit more resources and a bit bigger ship ideally, but that's a bit longer in the game. So let's move towards the game and see what happens, and we go on from there. So welcome to the less predictable game than the previous Sea fishing, though the tutorial apparently has an issue and it's not mentioned anywhere online. So we'll be most probably seeing if can mail the developers about like how do you finish the second tutorial level when it tells you to go to a place that isn't even reachable on the map. So let's see about getting the game capture to work, which would be a good start. And there we go. That would be a good way to start overall. So now that we even have image from the game, let's move there we go, and then we are ready to actually do something with it. So load game, and we of course have only the returning home will reduce terror. Yes, fortunately we haven't yet been very high in terror, which tends to cause extra trouble very soon, and then things get fun. So this far in that sense it looks quite good. At least we haven't gone very crazy. There we go. Alright, now we have Mr. Organized Crime approaching us like, would you like to do a little favor? Yeah, would be good to find Mount Palmerston first. The issue here is that so we can do this. The only issue is that we can't return to London until we actually are able to more or less deal with that, because the item that he gives will be contraband and we can't return to London with it in hold unless we can of course make the customs look the other way, which is the issue with dealing with the organized crime, that you typically have some kind of issue overall, because usually criminal activity does carry some risks with it. So let's then would you think that we can try and make it to Mount Palmerston, so let's go with that. Generally somewhere northeast of London it is, so it's kind of like shouldn't be a major issue. Let's submit port reports next. So, and yes, we do have a revelatory chart which gives good amount of resources from the Admiralty. 250, which is very good amount of money at this point of the game, which is good use for the revelatory chart. And then we submit port reports. We can try to submit the tales from the Shepherd Isles also as fact, but that of course is kind of difficult. Unsurprising that the locals are quite the guys to spin some tales, and that doesn't really work that well typically, unless you have very high skill level, like 18% chance of success, which is clear that it's not really worth the risk when you consider what it provides. So let's do the usual. We get at least one fuel, which is pretty good when you consider that it's quite a short distance to Shepherd Isles. It's like a bit south of London. Submitting Station 3 report is kind of like they do not exactly. Let's submit the others first. Oh, half to you indeed. Do know that we guess pretty well. Like who you might be with that kind of noises, which is of course so. We'll also greet you on the main screen, which of course, oh, of course the cat icon, of course, this one being a saber-tooth comes from there. And of course the cat icon now also has a pirate hat, considering the special month. And let's also greet you on the main screen. So, and as noted, you can of course do redeemables for more fun also at will. And other than that, of course, the skunk also wears a nice tricorn because it fits the skunk well. So let's move back to the game and continue. So we are submitting port reports to the Admiralty, and the game is Sunless Sea, as it also says in the stream information. Explained it shortly last time, but it's based on specific franchise like which hello there, Mr. SFW. Good to see you, and you of course also as friend of the stream, always get greeting on the main screen. So always appreciate your continuing support and welcome. And as we can have some lore content here in the meantime, the story with Fallen London in general is practically that we of course know that in actual realm Queen Victoria's husband Albert expired unfortunately quite early into the Victoria's reign, which happened also in lore of this world, but then Victoria made kind of a deal with some kind of Lovecraftian entity that led to Albert being returned to life, but it also cost London, which is now far underground by kind of like underground sea, and that's pretty much the starting setting with Fallen London. There's also kind of a browser game that originally used the setting, and there's later also a couple of other games that use the setting, but would consider this the best one of the computer games proper that use the Fallen London setting. The later Sunless Skies is kind of takes the bad parts of this game and makes it another game, so it's kind of like not as good would say immediately. And then there's the new kind of like dating simulator or kind of like adventure game, or overall like only with text choices, Mask of the Rose, which was published quite recently and have not tried it oneself yet, but as far as know it should be better. And of course the name of the maker is also Fail Better Games. Do think that still Sunless Sea is like the best one, in addition to used to play the browser game a couple of years ago, and it was actually also quite nice. They have kept it going surprisingly long, like what 15 years by now, so it's an interesting franchise overall, and it's a very good game of course for the special months. So there we go, actual lore content, and let's continue here. Oh, thank you. Indeed, actually bought the hat recently, because there will be also a pirate-themed ferry cruise soon. So actually bought the hat from like actual prop maker, so it's real felt and whatever with very nice decorations. Probably the best one that have seen in the genre anytime recently. So it works very well also for the skunk, because the skunk can actually wear it well due to the compact skunky ears. So works very nice. And now we move back to the game, having taken care of couple of other minor matters, and we are good to go here again. So let's then submit the rest of the port reports. So we do have the report for Station 3, which is kind of like covert operation thing of the Admiralty, so they will be kind of careful. Ministry of Public Decency also gets involved. We appreciate your discretion. So we actually get paid 100, and it's kind of like we are not supposed to get involved in that. We actually can if we have the right things, and we have 11 fuel like already, and we have actually so much money that we can do a bit of ship upgrading most probably. So did we have anything the scholar would care of? Yes, we do actually have even another lamentable relic, which is also pretty good. The scholar tends to like to buy all kinds of odd items, so it's very good to sell them to the scholar also. So let's then would say that it's kind of like the outlandish artifacts do think can be also sometimes sold in the rose market, so we should check that first. As noted, private councillor is seeking an outlandish artifact, and we certainly do get better price in the rose market than in the from the scholar. So it's of course better to sell to almost to the royalty. So, and we got 150 for that, which was very good deal. Now we actually do have money, so we should see what we can do. We also have good amount of fuel, and we can even see we can at least certainly get better like illumination. Better ship starts to be kind of like we would at some point like to have the bigger ship, but it's like a few thousand, so it's not quite yet bigger ship time. There are like a few different kinds of bigger ships which cost a lot of money, the bigger ones, but we can certainly upgrade the ship a bit at this level of like over 600. First of all, we should of course check like what was our hull situation. Yep, we should fix ship first, and do think that we can actually use the Admiralty yard at this point, as we have several favors from the Admiralty, so that should be quite easy to accomplish. So let's visit the Admiralty. Do think it went through some other way. Yeah, through here. Yeah, we do have 6 Admiralty favors, so let's use the Admiralty yards, which cost only 24, which is very cheap. Now our ship is in full condition hull-wise, which is much better. We have taken a bit of beating by now, and we had the plausible search and do think that this was better. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Specialization in amputations would be more useful to have the gunner as a specialist, but that's available from a different place a bit later. And most probably might like to buy the better gun. It's like the basic gun sells only for 10. Alright. There we go. Considerably better gun. And engine upgrades are quite expensive, but would be nice to have an actual, like, any light at all. So let's add the basic one, as we had none. There we are, like at least +1, which is better than not at all. So that's also considerable improvement. So let's then see about supplies, and probably then try and find Mount Palmerston. So we buy, like, would prefer to have like 10 supplies and 20 fuel. That would be enough to find Mount Palmerston no matter what happens. Then we can also provide some other things, because these are sometimes useful in encounters, but it's also useful to have favors with the antiquarian. So let's trade some of these things in. The lamentable relic is also kind of mostly useful. It's good to increase favors with the antiquarian also. So there we are. We have full crew, so we do not recruit for now. We should also visit our lodgings, and as usual, remember to read the paper. Terrorist 20, and we should also have a restful night, because it costs only 10. It reduces terror a bit, and the restful night is sometimes helpful. Yeah, it's kind of when you're underground. Have you ever tried growing grapes underground, Mr. Wolf? Like, how well can you grow any grapes underground? So that should give you an idea. Even if it's not tasty, most probably there are not that many choices. Considering, like, if you would have tried to grow grapes underground, that should give you pretty good idea. And there's of course the fact that actually what is nowadays known as ketchup was not originally made with tomatoes. It was made even before tomatoes were really known about, and it was actually made with mushrooms. So there you go. Certain like things were and to some degree still are produced with mushrooms that would be slightly comparable. So there you go. It used to be what was known as ketchup was actually originally always made with mushroom. So let's then considering we mostly have everything in place, at most we could check if the merchant venturer has anything useful. To remember he had kind of like different schemes. So you could sell bales of parabola linen or Stygian ivory, which are not very common. So it's kind of yes. And to think with that we are pretty much ready to disembark. Or more of embark and undock. So let's then move out and see if we can find Mount Palmerston. Here we go. Let's first of all study our map a little. So Mount Palmerston should be somewhere here. We of course also have the problem that it gets quite dangerous when you go north. Will not yet mention why, but would say that the northern part of the map has certain things that are less than desirable to encounter. we are pretty much in the correct overall. Shouldn't bother us. Yeah, all clear. Cute boat. That's of course one way to put it. Tends to be that not much in this world is very cute, but of course that's a nice way to put it. Interesting take on it. It kind of has, in a sense. It's a very different game though. We are at least sufficiently north. Now we just need to find one of the typical harbors here. Yep. And now this is the point where we turn. And we turn quick. That thing was Mount Nomad, and who don't want to even speak more about it, because it's usually the thing that sinks you. It does damage remotely. It's almost the only thing that like doesn't even have to hit you. It has a remote attack, and it's more or less not fun. It's absolutely impossible to beat with this ship or any of the smaller, like even big ones, because it has like 1000 HP. So we certainly do not tangle with Mount Nomad at this time. Yes, you fight sea things, but not as much yet with this ship. At least we have the slightly better gun, so it's kind of... we can at least fight something. Mount Palmerston should be somewhere north from here. because we saw Mount Nomad, so we were on the other side of. We are not preferably going to tangle with that either. Do you think this would be Mount Palmerston? So we succeeded. That was considerably exciting journey, I have to say. First of all, we saw Mount Nomad, which is already in itself quite an issue. The Fursuit coursers are always close to Mount Palmerston, so that was more to be expected. Immediately finding Mount Nomad was less so. So yes, you get to fight big sea monsters, but preferably not yet with this ship, would say. So let's then see if we can do our delivery. Yeah, this is here we can also. Yes. And now we delivered the goods. And we will be paid for that once we return to London. And this eliminates the problem that now we do not have contraband on board. So practically this was the first thing that needs to be done. And then we can otherwise explore the island. Compile a port report. Explore the island, let's do so. Privateer encampment, alright. Alright, 50% chance of success. Let's see. You were unlucky. Better luck next time. Lost 2 crew. Oh well, that didn't go very well. Dig among the ruins, perhaps not. We can also buy fuel here on a discount because of course fuel is cheap. there are odd items that can also be transported to London for some gain. For now, mostly that we have enough supplies to make it back to London. So let's leave Mount Palmerston and try to again not get in trouble tangle with the Fursuit Corsair, and then things should go rather well. Alright, it was good having you here, and hopefully you enjoyed. You also of course get main screen wave. So have a good time cycling, and thanks for joining for a while. Alright, and let's continue. So see you, and let's move out of Port Palmerston and check the map. We should be able to find way out of here, hopefully. We do have so much fuel that our route is quite free choice. Let's go through Shepherd Isles, so explore this spot. Ah yeah, the Maelstrom. That's fun if your ship can only do one of two clicks in terms of the engine telegraph. If you can do only one, so that you're a bit broken, you can't get out of the Maelstrom. That's fun. You just spin around and around, unable to get out, because it requires ability to move at the faster speed. Alright, there was island this way, so let's dock. Ah yeah, the Big Mouth Isle. Not willing to go here at this point. It has kind of a weird mini game that do not totally like, but we'll play it at some point so you see what it is. Not going to start it yet, because entering the beach further than that will start the plot, so we are going to leave that for later. But now we know where Big Mouth Isle is. Let's visit Shepherd Isle and again compile a port report of Tall Tales. There's rather a lot of this material. Yep. We do not yet have the first officer, and the security navigator is quite nice, so we can take them along. There we go. Picnic at the Standing Stones. Let's do a picnic. Losing some terror is quite good. Let's see, did we already find the Abbey Rock? Yes, and we have news, so we could visit the Abbey Rock and provide news to the Abbey. Alright, let's hunt the megalops. There we go, and gain some fragments, which when you have enough you learn a secret, which is quite useful in general. Apparently the dog is on the other side of the Abbey Rock, so there we go. Alright, let's then see if we can deliver news. Lost to terror, that's good. Compile a port report. And apparently we watched some fighting practice at the Sisterhood. We can sell them one supplies, as we are quite close, which gives a pretty good price. And we have a port report, so we are good to go. Alright, terror is 32, which is manageable. Let's then sail for London. no use to visit the lightship as we already gave the news to the Abbey. And now we have check from the customs service. And we can just declare all controlled goods as we have nothing to declare. And collect messages from the harbor master. And then we certainly are happy to accept remuneration still from the organized crime, which is pretty good. 205 fuel and 2 times supplies. Alright, we of course could do another mission, but it depends on how far we have to go. Works. Kaider's Mourn, alright, then it's again like we actually have to find that, but then we of course deliver port reports. More crew would be useful because we tangled with the pirates earlier and lost a couple. Otherwise there are not that many issues overall. So let's see if we can recruit more crew. Alright, there we go. It wasn't very hard in this case to hire more crew, fortunately. Alright, going to disappear shortly. Moment. And good to continue. So we have a free evening, so let's have a night out. Reduce terror, have recent news, and let's see what's available deal-wise at the Rose Market. Alright. Long box, certainly wouldn't sell those. Not much we can currently sell to the scholar, which is alright. And lost a bit of terror. More supplies and bit more fuel. That should be good enough, and we still have the 1000 that was given for the mission from the organized crime, so should be good enough. So let's then, we could also get a tattoo, because we are of course a real jailer now and we need certain things for these. So let's see. Vision of surface would be nice to practically. We will consider that when we have one of the required prerequisites for tattoo that actually gives bonuses. So we have supplies and we have our next target, and we should most probably then proceed. Gator's Moon should be somewhere here. So let's move. The map is somewhat randomized. For example, Big Moat Isle is totally in a different location than it used to be back when would give map to successor every time, so that the map wouldn't change. The Big Moat Isle was much more south. So the map varies subtly and it makes it very difficult to know where things are for sure. Yeah, shooting in the fog bank, very easy. Eight damage. Wow. Let's at least shoot at it in return. ran out of distance, so and let's keep moving east. We found the Iron Misery fanging station, which is kind of very... You get a lot of mushrooms here. Of course we compile a port report. We can also have tea with the factor, which typically reduces terror, yes, because it's an interlude, and provided a bit more supplies. And now we know about the really good restaurant in Vendorbyte, which is quite nice. You can go there. There's a nice subplot with the restaurant there, so it was useful. It's always useful to reduce terror, because otherwise you go crazy. Let's keep moving east still. Let's make sure that Kado's Moon isn't in this area, as it's not totally certain. Unwilling to fight that ship currently. Good. Alright, and there's a very big crab also. Fortunately, it's easy to lose things in the fog. Do you think what we are looking for would be further north? So let's go further north, but not as much north. Alright, let's try and calm them. We succeeded, which was good enough explanation. And supply situation, fuel situation are good, so the only problem is that we can't take that much more damage before we are in a bit of trouble. Alright, do you think this would be more like the right area? Actually, we found the Connaught, so would go through here next. We are not yet interested in the Connaught overall. We need to first of all find this the other light ship. So let's do the light ship and then continue looking for Gator's Moon. And we have recent news, so we can reduce terror here and even got one G story. Not bad. Alright, so now we know where the Connaught is. Let's do this area next. Alright, failed. Oh well, gained 1 terror. Fortunately, the crab is rarely that aggressive. Not willing to fight it with this ship in this condition in any case. Alright, that area would be next, most probably. Nine fuel, so let's alright, that we can sink. Cache of curiosities. 1 fuel. That was very curious. Alright, and let's keep moving. And even more crap. Not good. Alright, some precision sailing. Fortunately a miss, quite unwilling to fight them. Alright, this is still something else than what we are looking for, but we can at least dock here. Do not think have actually ever seen this place, which is surprising. Port report compiled. Alright, and it also starts to be time to finish soon, so this should auto-save the game every time you dock, so hello there, Briareus, again. We were almost ready to finish, but of course you will get welcome on the big screen in any case. Alright, so we can also work in the dead letter office, but let's for now give greetings to Briareus, which starts to be also, we have done the 1.5 hours, so welcome and thanks for joining, at least for the finish here. So most probably we are going to stop there and not sail further tonight, and it should auto-save the game in every port, so thank you, and of course you get another wave. It starts to be pretty much time to finish for the night, also night time wise, so would say that we will see who we will raid and then finish for the night, so Sir Fox is actually playing Monkey Island 2. Let's see if they are still playing and raid them, which is quite fitting for the nautical team. Yes, they are. So let's raid them. There we go. Thank you for joining again, and good night. We'll we'll see tomorrow for more games. Be well.